Oh, goodbye.
Whoa!
Goodbye.
What the?
Woo!
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Listen, kid.
There was a tension in the air.
Yeah.
For
Just
sure.
a quiet little, just let us kind of do this thing, you know? I remember going into like Video Village in between these.
I can't.
And just people like, I could see the
No, it was in.
wetness
This is
in
the
eyes,
darkest
maybe.
thing in the whole.
Yeah.
This is truly the darkest thing.
I never got to see his performance. And it wasn't until I saw it in ADR that I was like, yo, this is very intense for him as well, you know?
Too fucking much. I'm sorry.
Like, I've seen this scene so many times, of course, having edited it and wanting to make it as emotional and painful as possible, but it never gets easier to see.
And it does take a minute, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
something we had talked about where like, you know, it's not going to be
not
like
easy
a
to-
quick, it's not going to be done in 2 seconds. It's going to take a second.
You have a lot of life force in you that, you know.
And that's until then.
Oh,
Yeah. The hope
that's
was.
you're
I know,
you're
that's
now
when it
you're
becomes
really
like a
monster.
Oh,
You're a monster.
that face there.
Now
is like,
you
I know, it's wild.
Christ.
a monster.
Yeah.
Looks like a boar of a man, just an animal or
He's the
something.
devil.
But it starts off as such this sweet scene that's sort of
Yeah.
meant to mirror a little bit them at Buddy's at the end of the first episode.
I always saw it like that. Like, look at the difference, because he goes, "You did good today," and I go, "Thanks." And I said the same thing that he, you know, at the end of the first episode. And I always saw it like, look at where they were at the beginning of the series, at the end of that first episode, and look at what they've been through now at the end. And they have that moment where he tells them, you know, you're like family to me, you know. And man, he comes in and he puts his arm on my shoulder, and we go to where we go. So it's like, yeah, it is that kind of look at the arc that they've been on, and then for it to come to what it comes to, it's like, wow.
And I think it's so brutal in part two because clearly, not that there's any justification, but Oz deeply did not have to do that. And he does it because Victor loves him and he can't receive it because he cares for Victor. And what just happened after he saw his mother in the hospital and Victor just put his hand on his shoulder, and it's like this sad family, but Victor has seen Oz vulnerable, and now he has to like stifle that part, any humanity he has left, in order to, this is what he convinces himself of anyway, in order to kind of achieve the power that he needs.
Yeah,
Oof.
never love anybody is the lesson of the show. I hope
Not a
everyone
lot
takes
of
that to heart.
Great moral lesson.
It wasn't for nothing.
Did you expect it at all? Did you think any? No.
No.
You see, everyone online thinks I'm gonna die.
I know.
They do?
Well,
You
Colin
son.
had an interview where
Where
he
he
was
said,
like,
yeah, I think-
"She'll know this."
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Every comment I see is, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. I'm like, how the fuck?
Well,
do you know?
what I'd say in the first few
we're
episodes,
still got
one
ways
thinks
to go.
that you think that he's going to kill you. Like, there's a lot of
Right,
tension
hopefully
in
in the
air,
next few
and
weeks.
hopefully by the time you get there,
You think, okay,
you
now
think,
he's not.
oh, he's not going to kill him. I
But I
mean,
have had people say on our crew who didn't know, they knew Victor was going to go, but they didn't know how. That this still, even though they knew, technically
it was still not fair.
You do the little skip in one of the pieces, and I'm just like, that's perfect. The little like,
Yeah. Oh my God. This was. I've never felt cooler than being in that gown with that gas mask.
I'll be back.
Yeah. It was really fun.
There you go. There's the skip.
Yeah. Helen Shaver, who directed this episode, who I can't sing her praises enough, and her brilliance is like, she's just beyond. I felt very free to like try things, and so experiencing joy. She leaves Johnny because she needs him. He knows where the money is, he knows where the bodies are buried. Like, she's not a dummy. She knows that, like, you know, and that also everyone in the family, like even the sort of like underlings, you know, all think they think she's crazy, and she does need him to like get them in line, and then he can go. Which is what happens. Yeah, it's just what happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Gigante. Few spoke of her after she died.
You look great.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Pretty so
Just
articulate.
hearing your own voice is like a ice pick to the brain.
As of today,
Oh.
my father's legacy is dead. And we will never
Oh, but
Who's that
Deirdre-
guy?
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't like that.
I love it.
a family that will not treat you like cannon fodder in a fruitless war against the
Right on,
This-
right
this is
on.
yeah.
Right
this
on.
is like what ADR feels like when
So
you start.
everybody's going, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We got a score we need to settle.
Oh, good.
Whoa.
Goodbye.
What the?
Woo!
Wow.
Hell yeah.
No spin-off. No spin-off.
Hell
See the
yeah.
one dude, he's like, oh,
Stop talking.
Blew the shit out of the side of his head. I love that. You're like an Italian statue. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, what a day.
that was a day.
That is
Yeah.
like the best button to a monologue.
It's the best button to a monologue. To just
such
be
a
like,
good-
shut up, I'm
Like,
talking.
it doesn't even matter
Yeah.
what I said, and then boom.
Just enough. And then she's been waiting to do it for years.
Totally. It's like,
That's so nice.
okay.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's not what she really means, guys.
Yeah.
Bang.
Oh
you're
my
dead.
god. It's great. That was a blast.
I do believe that a lot of the things that he said to her in the mausoleum were true. That I do believe that there were some things he said to save his own life, but like all the stuff about the family and what he felt about her mother, that was all very coming from a very real and genuine place in my mind for my character. That's how I played it. So I think that there was a part of him that was like, hey, this isn't exactly what I wanted for the family, but I can see a way in which we can make this work. I see a way in which I can go forward with her as the boss and see it through. It was great. I mean, watching her do that monologue out there, it was fucking awesome. And then
Good scene.
the hardest part was laying there in the puddle of blood
Yeah.
and not breathing while she finished the monologue and gave them all the money.
Yeah.
So this song, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the perfect song would be.
Yeah, that's right. We would
Yeah.
send things back and forth.
Yeah, Jen
Oh,
Malone,
you guys had
our
chatted
music
about it.
Yeah.
supervisors. Yeah. I guess we didn't chat with you about it.
I didn't
No,
hear
we
a single
didn't.
thing. But you did let me know that like I think 2-3 days before we
Yeah.
shot this, you sent over what it was gonna be, and so I
Yeah.
just kind of like,
Yeah, there were
Let's
great,
do it a few
great
times.
videos of them singing this too. I remember watching
And you
those.
both had earwigs on.
yeah, we could hear the
did,
song.
so that we could hear the
We
song.
were connected in
and
that
stuff.
way, and then obviously with what's
You were
going on
just
in the
saying
scene.
earlier that this is the one where you just decided to be Benny. Like,
Yeah, just you feed into this thing. I think he needed it. I think in that moment, just to have a little love
so you'd
come
be
his
like,
way.
I'm not Benny, and then this time it's just are Benny for me.
Yeah, we'll both.
Do you
live in
think
this
that
little
people will be
fantasy.
trying to do these dances in the clubs
This could
all
be the
over
new hot
America?
dance. This is like the new Macarena. It's so sweet. You guys are so sweet together. It's such like a nice moment on a show that's so dark until now it's dark again and something bad's about to happen.
It quickly gets
Yeah,
back to dark
something is
mode.
bad.
But they do have that little moment between them, these two. And she's happy, and he is finding just some sort of happiness in a dark time for him.
Yeah.
Fun fact, that's Calvin behind Sophia, whose apartment we're in, and she killed that kid in the first episode.
Oh, wow. I've never
So it's a little
noticed that.
bit, it's a subtle like,
That
you know,
is,
Look at
yeah.
her eye makeup.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
added, because that wasn't on the
no,
video,
it was
was
always there.
It was always there?
Yeah.
It was nice. It kind of turns into that, doesn't it? I mean, at the beginning, I think he's like going through he's in his own head, and then sort of over the course of that scene, she kind of brings it out of him, you know? She's having such a good time, or I don't want to speak for you, but it seems like she's having such a good time that it lets him get out of his head a little bit and just kind of be more in that moment and experience joy with her, you know?
I'm not gonna kill you.
We'd met
We remember.
in passing on set, but this was, I think, our first thing that we actually shot together.
I get it.
God, this looks like a painting.
Yeah, all right.
It looks like a Gregory Crewdson photograph.
Well, like Helen's angles are good too, right?
Helen
She's
is
like,
the fucking best.
and then we take over the city. Together.
He expected her to come in and shoot him, and that's without him knowing what happened to Johnny Vitti, and or what's about to happen to the rest of the Falcones. So I didn't think he expected it at all. He's in like probably the lowest position of his life. He's just lost his entire family. Hey, maybe that's
I know.
right. Maybe that's a theme. He's just lost the woman that he loves and his son.
Oh.
And,
Michael hasn't seen it.
oh, that's all right.
I know.
It's all right.
Spoilers.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
It ain't what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever
Yeah.
you're thinking, it ain't
Yeah.
what you think.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is a Lauren LeFranc joint.
Yeah.
And it is always going to take you by surprise, even when you think you know what's going to happen, and you could be right, but you just have no idea.
Yeah.
How we doing today?
Colin and I talked about the wardrobe, and he was like, let's imagine, because some time has passed, he's made it to the top. Let's imagine that he went to, an event that would merit the tuxedo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gold. He had a gold brace as well, which you don't really catch.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that tear. Dee Dee, you got to talk about how hard it was for you. That's a natural tear that on cue.
A natural
on
tear.
cue. Dee Dee
Oh, I
did. That
just-
is so hard to do.
Well, we had
Rewatch.
just been talking about, tears on cue, like a couple of days before this, because we were both huge fans of Margot Robbie. So you had talked to me about
Right.
an interview where she had said I could do that. I mean, it's just something I can do. I can make
Throw
a tear
one
come, and
there.
we were both like, not me, not me, and then when we were
Oh, so you did it. Though.
shooting this.
Inspired.
There was, it was in the stage directions. There was no avoiding it. A single tear falls from her eye. So, a person reads that 6 months in advance and goes, I wonder. And then Colin, in that scene, was completely different than he had been in any other scene with me. He was cold as ice. And so that feeling of having Oz look at me with no love it took my breath away. It made me realize how much love I'd been getting for, I don't know, a year. And the combination of that and the fact that we were stopping, I was so moved that we had pulled this off, and we'd been together this whole time, and then it was going to be over. But it was also the way that he just turned it off. It broke my heart. So I was able to come up with the tear.